Good morning. Yay! We are live. 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 Yay, yay, yay. Happy to be here. Happy Hump Day. Happy chat. Happy Hump Day. It's the weekly Wednesday Hump Day Happy Chat. I'm Dr. Valerie Shepard coming to you live from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. And we're doing this a different way today, so I'm looking to see that everything's working. I can't even believe that it might be. Yay! Yay! I'm so happy to see you and welcome to this segment of the Hump Day Happy Chat. Please excuse me looking down as I check. I'm going to check my phone. Ha ha. I'm going to check my phone and see what's happening on the Facebook page. Is it showing up? I think it might be. Wow, that is so cool. Okay, so welcome. I'm glad to have you here. This is so awesome. We are the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. Why do you care? Because self-mastery, my beautiful peoples, is the best route to secure happiness. So to happiness that is not conditional, meaning it doesn't change with the seasons, with the flavors of the day. Even though you might have really debilitating circumstances going on, you can find within you that place within you that lets you see that happiness is happening. Hi, look, I'm hearing me. That lets you see that happiness is happening. Hi, look, I'm hearing me. That lets you see that happiness is happening. We're going to turn me down on my phone, and then I'll just be able to watch it. Yay! So that's one of the things that gets in the way of my happiness. Technology. I am affirming that I have an amazing producer who's working with me every week on these things so that I don't keep flubbing it up. And I thank you for your patience and for being here live with me. So here we go. The Hump Day Happy Chat is really about how do you get to self-mastery? What is it? Self-mastery, mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. And let's face it, our lives bring lots of things to our way, and not all of them are what we dream about. They're not all what we ask for. They're not all what we most ardently, fervently pray for or want. Why is that happening? Why is that happening? That's a story for another day. But the whole idea here with the Hump Day Happy Chat is that it's an opportunity for you to check in on a couple of things. I'll provide wisdom. I usually get the ideas from either what's going on in my world or what someone talks to me about, or if I get a private message saying, I really wish you would address this issue. That's where these come from. My team sometimes takes a poll and we find out what are the burning things going on in your lives right now. If you're listening live, I would love it if you would type into the chat who you're rooting for in the Super Bowl. Who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl? I'm not going to tell you. It's hard for me because I live in Southern California, so the Rams play in SoFi Stadium, which is right up the road. So they're the home team, so I'm supposed to be a hometown girl. And because I used to work at Procter & Gamble, one of my favorite companies on the planet, because I used to work at Procter & Gamble, I lived in Cincinnati for almost a decade. So, and I have lots of friends who still live there. Shouting out to Catherine, Quinn, Megan, Aaron, Ryan, all the grandkids. Friends who still live there. So I'm like, I've been rooting for Cincinnati to get to the Super Bowl. And now I'm like, So here we go. So type that in if you're listening live. If you're listening to the replay. Remember, you can always PM me for sensitive chit-chats. They don't have to be public. You might see that I take your story and I turn it into an anonymous one, and I might coach or teach from that. It just depends. And if you use the wisdom that I give, I'd love for you to come to the page or come to the thread of the Hump Day Happy Chat and, type in your successes and your failures, and let's troubleshoot what happened and how I can help you go even to a higher level. And if you really want to practice this every day, not just with me on Wednesdays, you can go to facebook.com/groups/the Bliss Collective. Facebook.com/groups/the Bliss Collective. Ask for membership. It's a private group. We are a community on a mission to create a ripple effect of peace, love, joy, and freedom all over the planet. Every little nook and cranny. That's what we want to do. But it's about starting with ourselves. Like, how do I bring more peace, love, and joy in me so that everywhere I go, I'm sprinkling or unleashing or purposefully emanating more peace, love, joy, and freedom, emotional freedom. So let's get into it. Today's Hump Day Happy Chat number 161. Much ado about nothing. Much ado about nothing. Have you heard the saying, you're making a mountain out of a molehill? You're making a mountain out of a molehill. I can sometimes hear myself saying, well, there you go, making a mountain out of a molehill. What does that mean? It's an old phrase. A person who makes a mountain out of a molehill is said to be greatly exaggerating the severity of the situation. So you hear people joke and they say they walk 5 miles to school uphill both ways. That's greatly exaggerating the situation. There's something in the situation that's bothering them or that's troubling, but 5 miles uphill both ways, that's not really true. So this saying, making a mountain out of a molehill, actually dates all the way back to the 1400s. Do you believe that? This is a 15th century idiom, metaphor, that we're using to talk about the things that get in our way and how we need to make them really big, so that we seem more powerful at either struggling and striving to deal with them or having overcome them. Good morning. Thank you for joining. I see you out there. So this phrase was first attributed to a gentleman in England named William Caxton, who was alive from 1422 to 1491. He was an English merchant. He was also a writer and a publisher and a diplomat. So he is thought to be the first person to introduce a printing press to England, William Caxton, in 1476. He was a printer. He was a retailer of books. So a somewhat studied and learned man. First one, this is the statement to whom this statement is attributed, making a mountain out of a molehill. In cognitive psychology, this is called a form of distortion known as magnification. So we magnify or overreact in a situation. So I don't know about you, but I've had plenty of mountains in my life. The mountains have not seemed like just a fiction of my imagination. My life came with a lot of mountains. Like when I was listing them today, when I was thinking, like, what kinds of mountains have I actually truly experienced? So I wrote down, I have health mountains, still climbing a couple of those, relationship mountains, physical injury mountains. I was really into sports when I was younger. I've had 3 knee operations. I got banged up. You should see my shins from my soccer. Back when I played soccer, back in the day, it wasn't a requirement that you wear shin guards, and I hated those things. And I've got the shin scars to prove it. So physical injury mountains, money and banking mountains, investment mountains or pits, systemic racism and the doctrine of white supremacy mountains, big mountains, happiness and inner peace mountains. I've had mountains in every aspect every aspect of my life. Were they real mountains? No, it was the appearance of the mountain. That's what caused the stuff in me. And I was one who really believed, I was conditioned to believe, the bigger the mountain, the more the victory for me, the bigger the victory for me. And I was demonstrating my lovability by slaying the dragon, by taking the harder path, by overcoming the most challenges. Like that was a victory story. And so the mountains, in some cases, this idea of magnification, of distorting the kind of mountain, what I call is negative conjuring. I would conjure. And I'm not calling that good or bad or right or wrong. It was a situation and it reflected the consciousness level at which I was living at that time. That's just a truth. It doesn't have to have an evaluative judgment. Role modeling here. This is for you. Take a deep breath. Everyone just breathe for a minute. Where are you creating distortion, a distorted view, a distorted experience, a distorted hearing of what someone's saying? I don't need to find ways to turn the inconsequential things in my life into mountains that I have to struggle and strive to get over. I don't. I won't. I bet you don't need to either. So come along with me. I'm on a committed journey into more ease, peace, harmony, and flow. Flow, ease, peace, harmony, and flow. That I've done, like my biggest mission is to bless, forgive, and release the old junk in my trunk. Hey there, type in the chat where you're tuning in from. Tell me your name, say hey, hey, hey. So happy to have you here. Who's there? I see you. Happy to have you here. So instead, I want to release that emotional junk in my trunk. And let me tell you, when I started opening up and saying, I'm willing to see it, I'm willing to retrace my steps through some of that emotional junk in my trunk, see what is in it for me. Not just why did it happen to me, but hey, what's the shift in my consciousness that allows me to get the gold in that circumstance? That allows me to see the order in something that I was labeling chaos, that allows me to see the beauty inside the muck and the yuck. What is that? How do I go there? That's what the Hump Day Happy Chat is about. That's what we do in the Bliss Collective. That's what we're going to start working on in my new upcoming 7-day challenge. I'll type that into the link to register for the challenge in the comments. But let's talk about the mountains of life and how you can turn them into molehills. Instead of turning a molehill into a mountain, let's talk about turning the mountains into molehills. Let's flip it. Let's take something that even through my own exaggeration appears to be a mountain, insurmountable mountain, and let's turn it into an itty bitty molehill. Little molehill. Little tiny molehill. Slay the dragon. Things that are far less consequential. Let's shrink it into something far less consequential, far less troubling, far less daunting. We need no more struggle, prove, fight. I'm going to fight it. Oh, lay down your sword and your armor. Lay down your swords and your armor. Take a nice cleansing breath. It's time to give up whatever way that you are making much ado about nothing. That's William Shakespeare, y'all. I'm a big Shakespeare fan. Good morning. Whatever you think is permanent in your life, you have to consciously choose to see it into turnaround, see it into turnaround in your heart space, see it into your turnaround. So whether you're experiencing something that feels permanent, so these were some of my mountains too: debt, loneliness, loss, people, places, things, unfairness, emotional, physical harm, shame, guilt, very low vibration energies, those last two, shame and guilt. Got to release those. Resentment, anger, I've had plenty. People used to experience me as an angry person. I wasn't even aware of it. Emotional pain. Yep, have that. Have had that. Weariness. Sometimes still have that. Illness. Physical disability. All kinds of mountains that could be in your life and feel like they're never going to go away. So in the teachings of Living Happy to Be Me, that's the name of my book, Living Happy to Be Me, the subtitle is Dancing Your Soul Light Style. Dancing Your Soul Light Style. The capital M-E in that title is an acronym for magnificent essence, which is what you are. When you align with that nature of you, the divinity in you, step one of my 4-step process, wake up and activate, wake up to and activate the truth of who you are. Integrated spiritual human person. You are not just human. There is nothing in this world that you don't already have the power to overcome, to get superiority over, to transmigrate through, to transmutate. You have the ability within you to transform base experiences into golden opportunities. That's the spiritual alchemist. That's what I help people do. So in this 4-step process, Living Happy to Be Me, step 1, wake up to and activate in your life the truth of who you are. It's a foundational aspect of you. It's a powerful aspect of you that helps you do everything in your life. Turn every mountain into a molehill. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. This is about knowing, understanding, tuning into, and activating this integrated spiritual nature that you are. The divine aspect that was innately endowed. You came here with it. You don't have to jump through hoops. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars going to every teacher and learn how to do it. You can. It's fun. I love working with magnificent teachers. It's in my affirmations that I continue to attract and learn from the most brilliant spiritual leaders in the world. And I've got some on my team. I love it. It's beautiful. You can do that, but do it from a place of, this is juicy, delicious fun. I can't wait to do it. Instead of, if I don't do it, I'm never going to get this figured out. I can't get over the mountains in my life, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to do it, and somebody help me, please. I'm so weary. That's not the energy that serves you the best. And the whole idea is not to be one or the other. I'm going to be my highest spiritual self, or I'm going to be my not so spiritual self. It's a both and equation. Both and, meaning they come together simultaneously. You are at once the same thing. Integrated, spiritual, human person. You are living in the human realm. You are endowed with spiritual, magical, mystical, divine capabilities. Say it again. You incarnated into the third dimension, into this earth suit called the body. It is of this realm. You need this to be in this realm as you. But notice there's a difference between of this realm and in this realm. That's why you shed the body when you leave this realm. You don't need it in the spiritual realm. Your energy, pure. Here, the earth suit allows you to be in the third dimension called earth. But you incarnated with the spiritual capabilities that are innately yours. Remember, tune in, tap in, turn on, as Abraham Hicks would say, so that you can transmute, transmogrify, diminish, shrink all of the density and the mountains that you think are appearing in your life. By activating this higher aspect of yourself that's always been there waiting for you to go on the inward journey to align. It's not find it out there and bring it in. You don't have to go to the mountain to find what's missing from you. There's nothing missing. There's nothing missing. You are magnificent exactly as you are. It's just to wake up to that. And yeah, maybe in my wake up journey, there was a lot of stuff that was covering that magnificence. Like a barnacle covers the bottom of the boat. The barnacle just signifies that the boat's been sitting there for a while. So yeah, I had anchored in some stuff that wasn't so great. Low self-esteem. I had a low burning energy of fear. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop, which came from this energy of unworthiness, not worthy of God's love. That was related to being incarnated, to choosing to incarnate into a body that has this beautiful black skin. There were a number of things that I have learned about what had been conditioned into me, that I've had the pleasure, the joy, and some of the pain and difficulty of releasing. Like a person scrubs the barnacles off of their boat, I have gotten rid of the emotional junk in my trunk. I've shifted it. I've gotten superiority over it. It's still there. It's not like I tell it, go away, I don't want to know you're there. No, I know what it is. Actually, more is coming up. The higher I go into my consciousness, the more I allow the deep, not so pretty self, the shadow self, to show itself. Because as long as it's a shadow, I'm not aware of it. And it's running me ragged. And so to bring it forward, use the power of my divine self, my higher self, to dance with whatever is not that in order to get superiority over it and move into a higher space, higher relationship, where I can really activate my divine powers from the pure essence of love, peace, joy, and freedom. Can you feel the energy of that? Take a deep breath and let that land. I can activate the magnificent essence that I am so that I can use those powers to bring more peace, love, joy, and freedom into my life. And I can express more peace, love, joy, and freedom into the world. Yes, yes, yes. Give me some, give me some, give me some. Oh, I love that. When you're tuned in and expressing that aspect of you, that supreme, powerful, omnipresent power that you are, watch and experience what appeared to be mountains to diminish into molehills. You will see yourself shift sorrow into joy, lack and limitation into abundance and flow, loneliness into divine relationship, sickness into health, hunger into fullness, mind, body, spirit, fullness, desolation into flourishing. There will be nothing, no mountain that you can't diminish, not climb, diminish, shrink, move out of the way. There will be no more making much ado about nothing in your life. You won't need to, because you'll know who you are, what you are, and you'll be living from that integrated spiritual human place. Joel Osteen reminds us, I love Joel Osteen. He reminds us that what we experience as setbacks, it's a word that people use to describe mountains. It's a setback. Joel Osteen reminds us that what we experience as setbacks are actually, in his words, setups to God. You could say the divine, the universe, your higher self. Setbacks are setups to God showing out in your life, to your higher self bringing you the most magnificent rebound, the most magnificent overcoming, the most magnificent this or something better in your life. So I'll tell you a quick story. The most recent setback I experienced was a setback for getting something in my life that I wanted, which was some living room furniture. I donated my couch and love seat to the Marine Corps for new recruits who are outfitting their homes. And it was in great condition and I loved it. And so I donated the couch and love seat. And I had one on order. I went to get it. When I went to see when they were going to deliver it, I found out it had been placed on back order, unbeknownst to me. And so nothing was coming. And so I had a living room with nothing to sit on. I went into my garage, and fortunately, I had a chair, a camping chair, one of my camping chairs. So I brought that into the living room, and for over 9 months, I sat on that camping chair. So imagine, this was last year. I felt desolation. I felt upset. I felt like, why am I forsaken? This is something I really want. Why can't I have it? I mean, I got into that energy. And then I would lift myself up and remember, wait a minute. That's not how my world works. I am not forsaken. I don't believe that I'm unlovable anymore. I don't believe that I get things just for them to be ripped away, that the universe is playing tricks on me, luring me in, come get the carrot, and then taking it away right when I'm ready to sit on it. I don't believe that. So if this is showing up, if nothingness shows up where I want somethingness, then there's something better coming than the one I thought I wanted. So I went shopping. Didn't find anything, sat on lots of couches, looked at them. When could I order them? When could I get them? Everything was back ordered. Sat on my camping chair. Went shopping again, didn't find anything. Sat on my camping chair in faith. So notice, I'm in the quote unquote desolation. I'm experiencing the mountain. This is never going to happen. I'm never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I don't know what to do. I'm experiencing the mountain. And staying committed to making it a molehill. I kind of went back and forth, but in the end, I started just coming into my living room, loving that camp chair, being grateful for it, keeping it clean, touching it and saying thank you for your presence, sitting in it and going, oh, this is so comfortable. I'm so comfortable in my living room furniture. Do you hear the difference? Making the mountain, I don't have it, into a molehill. I love what I do have already. I don't have it. I love what I do have already. And then I listened and listened and listened. And one day, not too long ago, I heard, go get your couch. And I was like, so I checked the place where I had ordered it. Not only was it still on back order or out of stock, they're not even offering that particular model anymore. So I'm like, okay, so it's not about that. So the universe has set up something for me. So long story short, I got my beautiful love seat and an accent chair, which I wasn't even looking for, at a consignment center. And I love it even more than what I was going to buy. So I was able to turn that mountain of lack and limitation into a molehill of it's just a consequence of the circumstance and something is gestating and I will stay in the higher vibration truth, the higher vibration expectation, the higher vibration of outwardly seeing it, even though it's not here. Because I'm pulling that from the inside. I'm pulling that from the space of knowingness that I am when I connect to the higher self that is within me. Always, already. That's what you are. Always, already. That is who you are. Beyond personality and identity. Wake up to the truth. So, getting beyond much ado about nothing, shrinking mountains into molehills. What are the steps? Number one, you know where I'm always going first. You should be saying this even before I do. Breathe. Take a deep breath. Whew, when I realized, wow, I just gave my furniture away. I was being so generous and now I've got nothing. Yes, I had nothing. Breathing was really important because I wanted to run after the truck and say, at least leave me the love seat. Breathe. Come to an inner stillness. Let the mountain sit there for a while. It's not going anywhere. It's a mountain. Come to inner stillness. Okay. Oxygenate your brain. Look at what's happening. Turn off the switch of negative conjuring. Negative conjuring is where you just keep running in your mind all the stuff that's going to happen. All the bad stuff. The ish storm, ish storm, ish storm, ish storm. It's coming. No, it's not. You're making it up. You didn't walk 5 miles uphill both ways. Remember that. Overreacting or making something bigger than it is, there is a term for that in psychology, magnification. It's a distortion of what you're really going through. So rather than magnifying the negative things that you're worried about, magnify the positive. So that's the next step. You turn off the negative magnification, turn off the negative conjuring, turn off the monkey mind running through blah, 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 this, that gets you all ratcheted up. And you go into the high vibe inner flow, even while you're still feeling sorrow, even while you might be still feeling fear, even while you might be still feeling anguish. Whatever upset is still in there, allow it to dissipate by not clamping it down. Don't let your energy flow. You feel tears, let them flow. I love to cry like this. This is my surrender. I love to cry like this, the tears streaming down my face. Why do I love to cry like this? Because I'm allowing myself to be in the fullness of the weariness, in the fullness of the sadness, in the fullness of the anguish, in the fullness of the desolation. I'm letting it flow. And as I open up and surrender into my heart, I can feel the sorrow, the pain, the anguish. Ooh, I feel some right now. Little pieces of mountain. I can feel it flowing out from me. It's got to be released. The way you diminish the mountain is you dissolve the things that are a part of it, that are the structure that keep it solid. So you double down on faith, diminish your doubt and negative thinking. I got my camp chair and I was like, this is it. Let's make the most of this. In the situation, still calling in the positive. Still calling in the positive, double down on faith. So what you can use to double down on faith, if you're not really feeling any, affirmative prayer can help. So affirmative prayer is statements of the positive place that you want to be in the future, stated now in the present. So I said, when I sat in this chair, I was grateful for that camp chair. Thank you so much. It was a zero gravity chair, so I could, recline in it. It was really comfortable. It had a little tray table so I could put my drinks on it. It was kind of cool. And so I had a little pillow. So I reclined in it and I said my affirmative prayer. I am now enjoying my exquisite leather reclining couch. I love this leather couch. And at that point, I didn't know I wanted a love seat instead of a couch. I don't need a couch. A love seat was perfect, and that's what I have. And I said my affirmative prayer. Thank you that I am now joyfully sitting in my most beautiful leather power reclining couch. Every time I sat down, got up to get some water, sat down again. Oh, I'm so grateful to have this beautiful reclining power leather couch. Use affirmative prayer, even though what's happening in the present doesn't necessarily align. You're trying to pull that present into that future state into the now. And then stoke your belief in miracles. Stoke your belief in miracles. The inexplicable, the supernatural. Why? Because the higher self of you, when you integrate divine and human, that higher self is where the inexplicable, the mystical, the magical aspects of you lie. Without this, yeah, you're human, all right. There's no transmuting. You are going to struggle and strive. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt or 100 t-shirts. And when I learned to, oh my gosh, I'm more than human. I'm a superhuman. We love watching movies about supernatural beings and superhumans. Well, guess what? You are one. So when you stoke your belief in miracles and the inexplicable, in the supernatural, remember that they are in the realm of things that come within you. Your human brain can't formulate, plan, explain, or understand them, but your divine mind knows and orchestrates them to happen every day. Every day, magic and miracles are unfolding from the divinity in you, orchestrating it. Even though you may not know it, you may not understand it, you may not even believe in it. Doesn't matter. All it takes is noticing it. This reminds me, I have to believe it to see it. You have to believe it to see it. It's not seeing is believing. That's old BS. It's believing is what allows you to see it. It's the energy of the belief that actually brings into you through laws of attraction, law of reflection, law of reciprocity, all kinds of other laws we're not going to go into. Bring it to you. That's how you give up making much ado about nothing and turn the mountains in your life into molehills. Juicy, delicious, yappa dabba doo. Thank you so much for joining me or for watching the replay. Big giant thanks if you are one who wants to share it, who wants to say, you know what? I think I'll put this on my page, because there are people who are in my family on Facebook who could use this. Thank you so much. I love that power, that stepping into your ability to serve others just by being you. Love it. And I hope you heard me say earlier that I'm so into ease, peace, harmony, and flow in my now self that I have blessed, forgiven, and released the old emotional junk in my trunk. That is absolutely true. Yes. And as more stuff comes up, as you saw in this Hump Day Happy Chat, more stuff was being liberated. As more junk in my trunk shows itself, some of that stuff may be buried deep, or it's different layers of the same stuff I've already started to unravel. As more of that emotional junk in my trunk shows me that it wants to be released, I say hallelujah, and I let it go. I let it go. And you can too. I always close the Hump Day Happy Chat with the Karanaya Metta Sutra, which is the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. And I hope you're saying it with me. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy, 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 happy. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. Your true nature is lightness. Dance your soul light style. That's the truth of who you are. The density of the experience is just in this realm. Remember, activate, awaken to the light of your true nature, and may all beings be free. I'm Dr. Valerie signing off from the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self-Mastery. Many blessings to you. If you want to PM me, that's great. Come play with us in the Bliss Collective here on Facebook. Take my challenge to get more, grow in your self-mastery, and flow into more bliss. Have more ease, peace, and joy in your life. Come on and play. Bye now.